Hello, Abnormal Investigation. I've got another encounter for you. This one here will really make you think about the summertime before you go out there and jump in that swimming pool at night to cool off or have a little fun. It seems that sometimes they might need a little water to cool off with, or at least see what you guys are doing. Hi there, I'm May. This story took place a few months ago in my own backyard. I still can't believe it. It all seems like a dream. My property has forever seemed to be a little eerie, and I have always been into the supernatural. And I've had my fair share of minor encounters, but this one shook me to my core, and I have changed my mind. I live in rural Montana, in a thick forest. Late one night, when my parents were out somewhere, my cousins and I were hanging out at my house. We were hot from biking out late, so we went for a night dip in the pool. It was getting pretty dark. After a while, we were getting worn out from swimming. So we were playing that game where you try and understand what someone is saying underwater. I was tightening my goggles while Koki, my cousin, and my best friend, and Jasper, Koki's younger brother, continued to talk underwater. That's when I heard crashing into the woods behind us. I just assumed it to be some deer. We do have a lot of those around the area. Jasper and I had figured out that you could hear the words more clearly if you're farther or if you're further away underwater. So Koki and I picked up different spots in the pool to listen. But what I heard under the water, it was not Jasper or Koki. It sounded like nails on a chalkboard, but muffled and lower pitched. Unlike any sound I've ever heard, I immediately poked my head up out of the water. Shh! Did you hear that? I whispered. Koki and Jasper looked at me, surprised. No, I didn't hear anything, Jasper said, confused. Hear what? Are you okay? Koki said worriedly. We paused to listen, but we didn't hear anything. Are you trying to scare us? Because it isn't working, Jasper started laughing. No, I'm not trying to scare you. I heard something weird, I told him. And they said, like what? Jasper and Koki said in unison. And I told him, I don't know, but it was unnatural and it creeped me out. I'm not one to make up stuff like that, so they knew I wasn't lying. I also happened to be the oldest and the strongest, so it's unlikely for me to get scared easily. We all just looked at each other for the next few minutes. We just simply deemed the noise a neighbor doing some kind of yard work. Yard work at around 10:30 p.m.? It didn't seem right, but it was the only reasonable explanation. I was extremely jumpy after that, so I just sat on the float. We had and observed the dark yard around us. Koki got out of the water and sat next to me because she was getting cold. And that's when I heard the crashing in the woods again. Well, I heard that, Koki said, shivering. We all turned to face where the sound was coming from. It was too dark to see anything. We had no light, since my house was only about 50 yards away. At first, we didn't see anything out of place. When the smell hit us, we knew something was very wrong. It was like rotting carcass smell mixed with a beaver's musk. A sticky sweet and absolutely horrendous smell. Then something moved along the tree line. All I could see was its silhouette at first. Then I saw two floating orange eyes just above the ground watching us. I was so afraid at that point. And I yelled, do you guys see that? Jasper quivered with unease. Yeah, are those eyes? He said. Koki asked, also sounding absolutely horrified. I have no idea, I started to say, when the eyes started upward with unnatural jerking and trembling. Then it took a step forward and I could make out some features now. It was extremely big, bony, and it had a long snout. My stomach lurched. I felt my brain screaming at me to get out of there. But I couldn't move. Something was telling me that if I turned and ran, that we would be ripped to shreds. Just like you're not supposed to face your back to a cougar, else they will pounce. We need to get inside now, I said, barely able to form the words. Good idea, everyone said. Slowly, we sank back into the water, not taking our eyes off of that thing. It didn't move, just tilted or rotated its head to follow us. When we finally slipped out of the pool, we all looked at each other and we ran as fast as we could, not looking back. Finally, after running for what seemed like minutes, we slammed the door behind us and locked the door. We just stood there, in the entryway of the house, regaining our breath, shivering in fear, and getting water all over the floor. Is everyone okay? I said through gasp, and yes, everyone said that they were. Forget being okay, everyone yelled. What was that? Everyone was freaked out. We went to get dressed and warm up, but when I was in my room changing, I heard footsteps walking alongside the house. And then I heard a growl, and something roared that went straight through my chest. And then I heard it run away, off into the woods. Now, it hasn't been back that I know of, but I'm not sure, because we stopped swimming at night. Yeah, I think they hear you out there, and I think they get curious and they slip up to try to see what you're doing. Again, I think this is one of those things where this thing was just watching you guys, maybe planning a later date or trying to get your routine, but it was definitely interested in you because it was lurking around the house. It was watching you, and I think that's the key word, guys. The watcher. What do you guys think? Thank you for listening, guys. And as always, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. And we'll see you on the next one. Good night, and God bless.